About a year ago, we talked about the first annual Startup Fest in Battle Creek. If you're an entrepreneur or you have an idea that you'd like to be, maybe you have a business in mind, maybe you've already even got a business plan down and you just need to get it past these initial starting points, this might be an opportunity. Or maybe you like to see others do the same. Well, we'll talk about that right now as the second Startup Fest is getting ready to kick off. Cheryl Peters is here, Executive Director with the Generation E Institute in Battle Creek. They're behind Startup Fest. Good morning, Cheryl.
Good morning.
Welcome back. So let's remind folks what Startup Fest really is. I whet the appetite, but you know the details.
Startup Fest is an event that takes place in September 30th through October 2nd. It is 3 days of very intense work on the part of entrepreneurs, small business owners. We're asking that they are under 5 years in existence.
Okay.
So some of them could be growing, and it's an opportunity to have intense services from mentors and coaches who are volunteer their time to work with the entrepreneurs and the small business owners and the startups. They're in all different stages of development. Some of them are existing as businesses. Some of them are in the idea stage, as you said.
Mm-hmm. And all of them could use some advice, we presume.
Well, everybody does. And the mentors and the coaches that we have are exactly that. The mentors are to help them to get to that next step, wherever they are. And the coaches are to offer expertise in specific areas.
So in this process, the sectors that are represented in terms of the kinds of businesses that people are trying to advance, I presume that runs the gamut.
It does. And we're, as you said, that it is growing. So last year we had 9 businesses. This year we have 17 who are registered and ready to go. We have a variety of them. 9 of them are food related. That doesn't mean all restaurants. It could be preparation and ready to manufacture to sell packaged, different, in different stages. We have 1 technology business and we have 6 service businesses. So
Wow.
They range in everything from car care to shoe care to, counseling services, etc.
And they have to be startups. Is that true? I mean, for example, I have a friend who has worked for many years for a company, and she just bought the company. So for her, it's new, but it's been existing. Is
Right.
that considered a startup?
No,
It's
that
not.
is
Okay.
not considered a startup.
Yeah.
And the reason it would be is that they probably have brick and mortar and they're all, up and going.
Right, okay.
We do have some that are in brick and mortar and they're ready, but they're under 5 years.
Okay.
And they're looking to grow to that next level. For some, it's just to understand what a business plan looks like. For some, they're at a point of seeking funding. For others, they're looking for marketing and how to get the word out about their industry, whatever it might be. And some are looking to have their home base here, but be global.
All right. And we'll talk a little bit about what Cheryl meant by intense few days of work. What does that mean exactly? We'll find out when we come back in just a minute on WBCK. Startup Fest is our subject this half hour on WBCK. Cheryl Peters is here from the Generation E Institute. Startup Fest is September 30th through October 2nd. And so if you need a boost getting your business off the ground, this is a way to do it. Maybe you already have. You could potentially be a mentor or a coach, and we'll discuss that as well here coming up. So let's set the scene here, though, Cheryl. What happens on September 30th through October 2nd?
Thank you. On September 30th, which is an evening that we're going to be having at McCamley Plaza, all of the startups, all of the participants and are invited, and all of their mentors.
Okay.
We will have introduced them, hopefully, to the mentors before, and they will have worked a little bit together. But a mentor is somebody who is going to volunteer their time to come and help grow the business from whatever stage it's at, giving them advice, helping them with looking at their customer segments, looking at their pricing, looking at their marketing, everything.
These are big details.
They're huge details
in the minutia there
that have to be put together. And so the mentors are giving their time to work with them. They meet on Friday night kind of in a casual way so that they're then prepared for Saturday.
All right. And then Saturday comes along, and what happens next?
Saturday is a day-long event. Again, it's going to be at McCamley. And that is a time where all of the participants sit down with the mentors, one-on-one or two-on-one, depending on the number of mentors we have. And they just work. And they work just straight through to build that business plan to a point where the participant feels that they know every area of that business quite well.
Has to be done.
And they work together to do that. Then at 11:30, we have coaches. And coaches are people who have expertise in certain areas. We have an attorney, we have accountants, we have web designers, individuals who are giving their time to help with whatever area these entrepreneurs need. Not everyone is going to need all of them, but they have the opportunity to communicate and receive some services. And, of course, all of this is free.
Wow, that is huge. And this culminates in, the spotlight, I suppose, doesn't it?
It does. In the afternoon, they're going to work on their pitch competition. We have a workshop on Thursday evening prior to it, where we have an expert coming in to run a workshop, which they can register to attend, and it's totally devoted to preparing a pitch competition, kind of like a Shark Tank, but it's very serious, and they take it quite seriously, and so they prepare for that, and then on Sunday, which is open to the public, they'll come in, they'll review, and then at 11, I believe it is, at 11 o'clock is when they do the pitch competition in front of 4 judges.
So each of these participants, with their freshly honed business plans and clear ideas of what their business is about, will stand up in front of judges and make a pitch for their business. Somebody in the audience, since it is open to the public on that Sunday, the 2nd, will potentially hear an idea they might like to be involved in.
Absolutely, and that's one of the things that did happen last year. Thank you for making that point. We did have people there who said, wait a minute, I have a skill in this. How can I partner with you?
Wow.
So it really, you don't know what avenue it's going to open up. So that's why we do invite the public, and really as an encouragement. Battle Creek is very entrepreneurial, and new business startups and businesses, they grow our economy, they employ people, and they help it to be a good place to live.
Well, and if you think about small business in general and the tremendous amount of small businesses that are fueling the economy now, this makes a whole lot of sense that folks want to be in that area.
In our community, over 80% of our businesses are considered small businesses because they employ 100 or less.
80%?
Yes.
So that's what's considered a small business, 100 or less?
We do.
Uh-huh.
The SBA says 500. If that was the case, we would be far more.
Wow, that's interesting. All right, so in a minute, we'll talk a little bit about how you might be able to participate in this as a coach or a mentor. Maybe your business is already off the ground. Maybe you have something you could contribute and impart to folks who are like you were once upon a time. We'll talk about that in just a moment on WBCK. We're here for a few more minutes with Cheryl Peters from the Generation E Institute, the stagers of the Startup Fest in Battle Creek, September 30th through October 2nd. Now, last year, you had nine startups that participated. This year, it's 17?
Yes.
Oh, my gosh.
Well, I think that, and we're very, very fortunate that, first of all, word is out that there's help.
Yeah.
There's help at the very beginning stage. We have tremendous community support. We have great organizations that help businesses grow. We have the SBDC, we have the Chamber, we have Battle Creek Unlimited, we have the city. We have a lot of them. But we discovered that there was a gap.
Mm-hmm.
There was nobody working with that very beginning person, the one who just has that idea to take it to that next level. And so 6 years ago, that's when we took it on and have been just delighted to work with them. So I think the growth is what you're seeing there.
And by the time we get to this stage where we're a couple of weeks away, those 17 have been working, haven't they?
Those 17 people, we see them a lot,
Yeah.
or they're at home working,
Right.
and they're very diligently working on. We give assignments of things that that they need to be doing, and to prepare themselves so that when they get to the or when they get to the event, they have questions for those mentors. They know where their gaps are. And the mentors are there to help them figure those out, but walk them through.
All right, so if somebody's listening to this with an idea, and they could potentially be a part of this next year.
And they could start the day after.
Right, all right. And we'll give them some info here before you go on how to make that connection with you. Someone also may be listening who could participate as a coach or a mentor here.
We are really in need of mentors and coaches. With this many people, we really need people who will volunteer their time. For the mentors, it is a commitment of time. It's Friday evening, it's all day Saturday, and it's Sunday morning.
Mm-hmm.
So it is a big commitment. However, it is the most rewarding time. You get to meet with one or two specifically. We match them up based on expertise and experiences, and they work with these people to help them get to that next stage. So the mentors are very important.
And if someone's listening to this now and they're saying to themselves, I don't know if I'm mentor material, what sort of skills do you think you need here?
Somebody who has a mind for business, maybe they have experience in it, maybe they are just really good at planning and they know the structure. Maybe they work for a company and they see kind of how that company has grown. We have them from many different areas who come in, and they really they're listeners, but then they help to identify where, hey, have you ever thought of doing this?
Mm-hmm.
Or, this could be a different customer base, or you could partner with whoever. Mm-hmm. Those are people, they actually just expand that conversation.
All right. So how do they get in touch if they'd like to help
If they'd like to be a mentor, they can give us a call, 269-441-1238, and just, explain what they would like to do, and we would be just delighted to have them.
Startup Fest, September 30th through October 2nd at the McCamley Plaza Hotel in Battle Creek. And as Cheryl said, if you are a mentor who'd like to participate, it is a weekend commitment of time, but you make those connections and give some of your expertise to those who are just getting off the ground here. And if you are someone who might like to participate in this next year, that 17 could be 55 or something next year. We'll see.
We don't put a limit on it. We just want to help people.
All right. So they can call that same number, right?
Exactly.
441-1238 is the number. And, of course, I suppose if somebody went over to Google and typed in Startup Fest Battle Creek, they'll probably find you.
They would find that, or they would find it under Generation E.
Very good. Cheryl Peters is the executive director of the Generation E Institute in Battle Creek, the proprietors, if you will, sticking with the theme here, of Startup Fest, which is coming in Battle Creek September 30th. Thank you, Cheryl.
Thank you very much.
Best of luck. We'll be curious to hear how this turns out.
Be delighted to share the information.
All right. Talk to you again soon.